Good morning, everyone. This is Commissioner Bell. Today is Tuesday, April 9th, 2024, and we'll call this meeting to order at 8 a.m. As a reminder, our call number is 971-254-3149, conference ID 866-914-607#. Before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone to mute your phones. You can do this by pressing *6. Please unmute yourself when called to speak, again pressing *6. It's very important for all others to remain muted. Thank you. So we've called the meeting to order. I'll say welcome to everyone on the call, and we'll begin with the Board of Commissioners roll call. Good morning, Commissioner Scar.
Good morning.
And good morning, Commissioner Olson.
Good morning, ready to go.
Wonderful. So Adventist Health Tillamook is unavailable this morning, so we will jump right in with the Coastal Caucus. Do we have Senator Weber with us this morning? Give her a moment to unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Rainy morning, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yesterday, I spent the day in North Plains. They are trying to establish a food bank there, and it was really interesting to see how they're moving through the process. They can't get sanctioned by food banks, but they have a terrific group of volunteers that is serving about 300 families a week. And after that, I had meetings with constituents to discuss issues that they felt were important, especially a lot of the issues surrounding North Plains and the governor's housing bill and urban growth boundaries and the such. Very interesting meetings that went into the evening. And then I drove home, and it rained so hard coming over the hill. Last night I was amazed, and it doesn't seem to be raining as hard right now, but you just wonder how much water can those clouds hold. But anyway, it was a very interesting meeting yesterday with all of the folks over in the North Plains area and with Commissioner Wiley from Washington County. Over the weekend, I had a wonderful experience in being able to go up to Manzanita and participate with everyone there in the groundbreaking for the new City Hall. If anyone hasn't had a chance to look at their plans and what will happen in that area, take the opportunity to look and see what Manzanita is going to be able to accomplish. And also with their farmers market and how they're going to enhance the area for the farmers market. I especially enjoyed getting to speak with Commissioner Gar. It was nice to see her up there and to see all of the people that, they've been working toward this City Hall, they said for 30 years. All of the people that are involved in making this happen, they really need our gratitude because they have worked hard to get there. The city councilors were all there. I got to meet the mayor finally, and it was a really good time up there. Came home wet as can be, of course, but gratified at the fact that so many people felt it was so important to be there and participate in that. So that was really a nice event. I also want to acknowledge that, Senator Merkley was here this weekend, and he had his town hall, and I've had several reports, and I have spoken with his aide, Gustavo, and he and I are going to get together and have some conversations because I'm very concerned, especially about Highway 6 and being able to get the money to be able to repair that road as it kind of glides off the hill into the river. And so we're working towards getting together to be able to discuss some of the specific needs that we could really use federal help with in this area. And now I'm noticing in going up the coast that the area north of Rockaway seems to be in flux also. And so I guess it's one of the conditions of living on the coast is that things are always moving, aren't they? Today, I'm going to be in Astoria. I'm going to have a meeting with the Port of Astoria and catch up on the activity that's happening there. And I'm also scheduling meetings with other ports and port directors up and down the coast so that I can get a good feeling for how our ports are moving forward and their needs. Also today, there's a CWWC meeting, and you know, that is the Clatsop Working Lands and Waters group, just like we have the Tillamook County Working Lands and Waters. And this is the time of the month when we have those meetings. And if anyone is ever interested in finding out about how important that group is to our community in our county, make sure you get a hold of me and I will give you the whole sales pitch, because it's a wonderful group here in Tillamook County and what they're doing, working together with the forests, the fishers and the farmers to enhance our area and work together. And Clatsop County is doing the same thing. Another issue I'd like to address is the fact that I don't know if we can ever educate our guests, the tourists, to the natural hazards of the area. But I really would like to extend my sympathies to the family of the gentleman who drowned in Netarts Bay. You know, that place is has had that happen a lot, and unfortunately, it's the guests that come here that don't understand the perils of the ocean and the bay and what we live with and what we know about on a daily basis and recognize. And so I'd once again like to extend my sympathies to that family, to come from far away and then have such a disaster happen to the family. The other thing I'd like to do is, you know, we have lost a lot of people since COVID and because of COVID, and some of the people we have lost is such a surprise because we've sort of lost contact with these people as a result, and we've lost 2 community members in the last month that were really important figures in our community. One was Judd Kell. He worked at Hampton. He was instrumental in working together with young people, and he was always a good leader and a good mentor. And then the other one is Fib Johnston. He's from our farming community and worked hard for our church, worked hard in the community. And I know there are others, but I just really want to extend my sympathies. Both of those gentlemen will be having their funerals this weekend, and I think at the same time, in fact. And I just want their families to know how much they were appreciated and what they added to our community, and to thank them for that. And other than that, I've got a really busy week of meetings, and I'll just keep going. If anybody has any questions, let me know. But thank you again for providing us with this opportunity to continue to keep the county informed. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. It's really nice to hear from you. Thanks for sharing those messages of condolence. And also, thanks for talking about the Manzanita City Hall groundbreaking event, which I heard. I wasn't able to go because I was at Senator Merkley's town hall, as was Commissioner Olson, but I heard from Linda Kozlowski that there were 160 people there, which is really, really remarkable for a groundbreaking on a rainy Saturday morning. I'm glad you were able to go. And I just wonder if, I know Commissioner Scar was there also. I wonder if she'd like to say anything about that event.
Sure, thank you. It was a fabulous event, and yes, it would alternately pour, and then you would think it was going to stop, and you'd put down your umbrella, and then it would start again. But it was an amazing event, and really that project has been many, 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 many years in the making, as so many things are. I remember facilitating a meeting back, and I believe it was 2017, with that group to talk about what they were looking for in a city hall. So it has been a long time coming. It is really exciting. You know, the commissioners through the tourism dollars added some money so that the restroom that will be in that facility will be able to be ADA accessible from the outside, so it'll be accessible to visitors. So not only is it a city hall for Manzanita, it has some emergency response spaces in it, and it has access for restrooms for visitors. It really is going to be a multi-purpose building for that community. So the event itself was fabulous. They had little cookies shaped like shovels, and we all got stickers that said "I dig City Hall," and it just a great event. So I was pleased to be able to go up there and be a part of it. So thank you for that opportunity, Chair Bell. I want to give one quick shout out to Senator Weber while I have her ear. For the Tillamook Working Lands and Waters Group, we are planning a VIP tour coming up in June, and I will be reaching out to you to connect on legislators that we would like to have the opportunity to have visit our working forests and really begin or deepen their knowledge of how we do what we do here. The private forest accord that timber companies and environmental groups agreed to a few years ago is being implemented, and it's an opportunity to actually see on the ground what those changes mean to the working lands. So I will reach out to you, Senator. I just wanted to give a shout out while we're on the call together.
Thank you. I'm planning on that, and I'm also putting together a invitation list for people I think that would really benefit from this tour.
Perfect.
So thank you.
Thank you.
I'll work on that too. Okay.
Any other questions for Senator Weber?
All right. Yeah. New budget.
Well, if not, we'll say thank you so much and ask if
Okay,
Representative Javity is with us this morning.
I have to.
I'm here, Commissioner. How are you?
Hey, good morning. How are you?
They come in and they just start
Good
talking.
morning. I will try to
All right,
avoid
newbies, have
duplicating
fun. Okay,
good
I will.
senator.
Good job.
She
I
did
got
a
the
great job.
images.
I was able to see her at a couple of events, or one event this week. Saturday night last week, I'll start with that. I went down to Safeway, bought a lottery ticket, and was hopeful. And that night, there was a delay, but by Sunday morning when I woke up, I noticed I had won $4, which was, I was a little more excited when I saw that the winner was from Oregon. I thought maybe it was my lucky day, and would have been happy to pay the $600 million in taxes, but I did not win. But congratulations to whoever that was, which leads into not just a friendly reminder, or maybe it's a not so friendly reminder, that this coming Monday is April 15th. That means our taxes are due. So if you've been putting that off like I've been putting that off, you don't have much longer. Also, don't forget to check. We had a record-breaking kicker in the state of Oregon, and so there will be some money coming to people who've paid taxes, paid just a little bit too much last year. And then so you can apply for that. Usually it should automatically do it for you on like your favorite online tax filing service, but if not, you can go to this. If you just Google what's my Oregon kicker, it'll pull up a link. You can click on that, put in a couple little bits of information, and it'll tell you what kicker is coming back to you. And you do have to file your taxes to take advantage of that. So if you're just waiting for a check, you will be waiting a long time. So make sure you file. Other news, let's see. Senator Weber talked about the City Hall groundbreaking along with Commissioner Scar Manzanita. I did attend that. It was very wet. It was very cool, fun and cool, and got to see a lot of familiar faces. So congratulations, Manzanita, on what will be a great project. I met with some constituents up there, some big fans, some not so big fans. But to all of those people, feel free to reach out whenever you need anything. I don't take it personally, and we love everybody in this county regardless. And we're all an important part of the community, and we all have voices that need to be heard. But grateful for everyone that showed up to that. It's good to see that support. I was also briefly at the Senator Merkley thing that we brought up, and in addition to what has already been said, I did also bring up, the ongoing discussion that we're having about offshore wind, and the federal government and will be a big part of that. So I wanted to put that on their radar and let them know we are watching. And I second what Senator Weber said about Highway 6. I also brought up a few other issues, especially infrastructure, along with some of the other members of that meeting that we desperately need. Whatever federal funds, state funds are available to us to make those investments. I don't know if I brought this up last week or not, but I did meet with some farmers out in Bay City, and just to touch base on that, the issue of that meeting was, the Kilchis River continues to flood a little bit easier than it has in the past. I say a lot easier, and that's due to several issues, but most importantly, a log jam at the end of that river. And so I was able to get a hold of Department of State Lands and some other folks, and they are interested in coming out to take a look at that log jam. I also put that on the radar of Senator Merkley's staff. We're going to take a look at that and see if we can't get those logs out of there just to improve the flow and also improve the fishery and everything else. But it's going to be a process, so an issue that I'll continue to update everybody on. I've been doing some research lately, I'd say for a couple months now, on housing prices, and just wanted to let everyone know if you haven't checked, you should, but house prices are continue to climb, and they're out of reach of, I'd say the majority of people who need homes in our community. And I'll continue to work with Senator Weber as well as our local leaders, the commissioners, and others on what we can do to increase the housing supply, cut the red tape, and look for ways to, just generally make land more affordable so that we can get affordable housing for members of our community who desperately need a place to call home. And other than that, last week I went up to Astoria for some meetings. One of note, Columbia River Museum, if you haven't been up there, they're doing it's a beautiful museum, but they're also doing a huge expansion. It's a $30 million expansion. They haven't asked for a penny from the state or the federal government. They probably will in the end, just for a little bit, but kudos to the community for raising a large chunk of that money. It's an exciting project. And again, if you haven't been up there, if you're planning a weekend trip to get up there, make sure you include the museum in your trip. Tonight I will be at the same town hall with Senator Weber up in Astoria. And my gosh, I think I ran through my list. That's all I got for you this week. If I forgot anything, happy to touch bases on if anyone has any questions.
Thank you, Representative. Do we have any questions for Representative Javity? Well, I'd just like to say it was nice to see you at Senator Merkley's town hall. We had, prior to the public town hall, there was an opportunity for local leaders to meet with the senator. So Representative Javity was there and raised some really good questions about local issues, and I appreciated it. So thank you.
You're welcome. It's good to see you there too.
Yeah. Well, if we don't have anything else for the Coastal Caucus, I will say thank you so much for your being here, for your leadership, and for being here with us in this meeting. I know it means a lot to people. I continue to hear from people that they listen to this meeting and they like it. They feel well informed. They feel connected, and it's a regular opportunity for people who are listening to connect with all of us, but also specifically the Coastal Caucus, whom they may not often get the chance to interact with. So it's really very helpful. It's useful to the community, and I'm really glad you're joining us and doing it with us. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, so with that, we will move on to Tillamook County Community Health Centers. I'll give Marlene a chance to jump in if she's available, but she might not be.
So Commissioner Bell, this is Commissioner Scar. She sent me an update to share for them as no one was available today from their department.
Please do.
Okay, well, this week we would like to highlight our Public Health Coalition, Tillamook County Wellness's work on financial stability. Financial stability is a priority focus, and we've partnered with Financial Beginnings to deliver free financial literacy classes in Tillamook County. The classes are delivered over 6 weeks, broken down into themes, from the basics of budgeting to understanding credit, debt, and insurance, and finally taxes. We want to make sure that people know about the classes, and we also want to recruit more volunteer instructors. We are asking local employers and businesses to help us get the word out. If you or others in your organization or business are interested in helping local residents get back on their feet financially, we invite you to sign up for an upcoming volunteer training. Classes are being offered at Helping Hands, CARE, Trask High School, and Tillamook Bay Community College. Volunteers can sign up to teach whichever classes they feel most comfortable teaching, and there is an opportunity to shadow other instructors to gain a better understanding of the material and teaching methods. Learn more about the classes at www.tillamookcountywellness.org. Upcoming events just 1 week away on April 19th, stop and celebrate the opening of our new Public Health Services building. Tour the building, meet the staff, and enjoy a small treat. They didn't give me the address for that, but I know that it is over on 8th Street, just right next to the main clinic. So if you are interested, stop in and say hello to our public health staff on that day. COVID vaccine update. COVID-19 virus is still around. You may have heard that the CDC and Oregon Health Authority, as of February 28 of this year, recommend that those 65 and over receive an additional 2023-24 COVID-19 booster vaccine. They recommend doing this at least 4 months following the previous dose of the 23-24 season vaccine. This also applies to people who are immunocompromised. So with that, I will turn it back to you, Chair Bell. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's move on to the Nehalem Bay Health Center and Pharmacy. Gail Nelson, are you with us this morning?
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
A couple of announcements from the Nehalem Bay Health Center in Wheeler. Our new pharmacy prescription locker is up and running, and I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone for their patience. There were a couple days when the pharmacy had to open late, so we could accommodate training of staff for that. And for more information about our new pharmacy prescription locker, please visit our website at nehalembayhealth.org. And also, just an announcement, we do have some job openings, so if you have a passion for helping people and are looking for a new opportunity or know someone who is, please do visit our website, again, nehalembayhealth.org for details. And that's it for me today.
Thank you, Gail.
You're welcome.
How about Tillamook Family Counseling Service? Frank, are you with us?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Frank Hanna-Williams, Tillamook Family Counseling Center, Behavioral Health Services for Tillamook County residents. You can reach us at 503-842-8201 for information about services, appointments, any questions about the agency. And you can also reach us at our 1-800-962-2851 number as well. And would like to just kind of acknowledge our Tillamook County Community Health Centers, our partner with our harm reduction peer supports, and partnering with Tillamook Community Health Center staff around harm reduction in the community. And I will take questions if anyone has any.
Thank you, Frank. Do we have any questions for Frank?
This is Senator Weber, and I have a question. Can I
Perfect.
ask it?
Oh, please.
What is the status right now of the Kilchis House? And I know it's been renamed. And could you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there was a story in the Headlight Herald that is out today, and we're in the process of pulling things together. Our expectation is that we will open up the waiting list later this month. We're looking to do that sometime in April, April 22nd or so. And our plans are to be able to begin to have individuals living there and taking, and that would be sometime during the month of May. But we're finishing up a good bit of the renovation at the moment. We have a few things we want to make sure are working correctly. The renovation has been extensive, and what I will say is that it was a bit more of a challenge than we had originally thought. And as a result of that, it's taken some time, but I see us as being the finish line's in sight here. And as I said, we will begin the process of starting on the waiting list. And there's much more of a description. There's a description in the story at the headline here. And there also is a description on our website. And if you go to our website, that's tfcc.org. You will find a bit more of a description. And that's where we're at, Senator.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions for Frank? All right, if not, I will say thank you, and we can move on to the Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Brown, are you with us this morning?
Good morning, I am here.
Good morning.
Just want to give an update about our testing event we had last Friday. We had a great turnout, actually. We had a lower number of people taking the post-test, which is the written 12th grade or high school equivalency exam, than we did taking the ORPAT, which is actually very common. It's easier to take the written test online instead of taking it in person oftentimes. And so the number of applicants that we may have taking the written is usually less. So that's not uncommon. We had a great turnout for the ORPAT. I would say probably the most we've ever had, I would say somewhere is in the 15 to 17 participants. And at this event, we had 13. So I thought it was a very good turnout for an April testing event. I'm very anxious to see what that turns into as far as applicants are concerned, because we had a lot of people that were there that had not applied yet. So my hope is that we see an uptick in the applications as a result of the testing event. So good success, I would say. The other thing I want to mention or remind everybody is that tickets for the Search and Rescue banquet and fundraiser auction are on sale. You can go to our website, you can go to our Facebook page, and you can see the event that has been created. There is a link to be able to purchase tickets. I can also tell you that the site that we are using to sell our tickets online is the same as last year. You can search event.gives/search 2024. And that'll take you to there, and you can buy single seat admission tickets, or you can buy a whole table, which is a table for 8. So we're deep in the process of getting ready for that event. Last year was a great success, and I'd love to see it do even better this year. So we'll also be working on getting tickets made so we can sell them here at our office, but we're not at the point where that can be done yet. Everything is online at this point only. So May 18th is the event in the evening at 5 p.m. and it's at the Tillamook County Fairgrounds. Join us if you can. That's all I have, and I can take questions.
Thank you, Sheriff. Congratulations on the excellent turnout for the testing event. That's encouraging. That's great.
For sure.
Do we have any questions for the Sheriff? If not, I'll say thank you, and we can move on to emergency management. Randy Thorpe, are you with us this morning? Going once, going twice. Well, if Randy's here, we can come back to him. We will jump over to the Board of Commissioners. Commissioner Olson, would you like to start us off?
Yes, I will. Thank you and good morning again. I know we have budget hearings at 9 o'clock, so I'm going to go quickly through a couple of items. Last week, I was down in Corvallis, Philomath area. There was a meeting that involved someone from Washington, D.C., a gentleman by the name of Andrew Burke, who is he's the National Rural Utilities Service Administrator. He's also the former mayor of Chattanooga and a few other things along the way. And he came out to talk about rural broadband. And so I think there were 4 or 5 county commissioners there, a couple of mayors, and an individual representing the Lane County Council of Governments and some others. And I was able to tell the story of Tillamook Lightwave, and I guess, and others did the same. And we talked about rural America and the lack of high-speed broadband. And for me, the important thing is that the story was told, and they hear from the people on the ground who are trying to do this. And he's a pretty reasonable person. I'd actually heard him once before when I was on the Tillamook PUD board, I think back in Nashville. He was a speaker because the Rural Utilities Group is also part of the United States Department of Agriculture. And just to show how small a world it is, that was the source of financing for Tillamook PUD for the Oceanside transmission line. So he's quite an interesting individual, and I guess my takeaway from that was the same as my takeaway from Senator Merkley. When you get to meet these individuals one-on-one and you're sitting right next to them, and they're just like everybody else. They put their pants on one leg at a time. They have families, they have hopes and dreams, and they may be bound up in a giant bureaucracy of the federal government, but if you can visit with them as one-on-one as a person to another person, somehow that feels better, and things tend to get done that way. And I do think both the senator and Mr. Burke were really, really good listeners, and so I appreciated that part. So that's one thing. Another, yesterday, I didn't know about this meeting, but I saw it on Senator Weber's monthly or weekly newsletter. There was a meeting, and actually it was a roadshow and a listening session by the Department of Public Safety Standards and Training. And they made a stop yesterday afternoon for an hour or so, a little more, here in Tillamook over at the 911 center. And it was basically their senior management team. There were about 7 or 8 of them, including the director. And this is the group that trains and licenses and otherwise certifies all our first responders, police officers and sheriff's personnel and 911 dispatch people. And they also, I think, certify people who are qualified to testify in court on certain matters, criminal matters, and so on. And so it's a pretty powerful organization, and it was quite interesting to hear what their struggles are and how things are going. And in some ways are going rather well, at least on the law enforcement side, not so much on the fire side because they don't have some of the funding, but it was a bit eye-opening to hear how they do it. And I asked the director about, how does Oregon compare with other states across the nation? And of course, he said, we're among the very best and maybe the best. But it wasn't just bragging. He cited some reasons why and some things that had been taken where someone had applied and was in the process of becoming a police officer, and he misrepresented something, apparently relatively minor, and he was taken off the list immediately, which says they pay a lot of attention to honesty, integrity, character, and the things that I think we'd want in our public safety people. And so they're hard at it, doing their job, and they're touring all around Oregon, listening to the people on the ground. And of course, they've heard a lot of difficult stories, but it was an interesting, very interesting meeting. Last thing I'd say, I guess, I'm also following, as you heard from Representative Javity, the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management and what's going on off the Oregon coast, particularly on the south end, down by Coos Bay, even Reedsport, and clear down almost to the California border. I don't think it's headed up our way, but maybe it will be over the next few years. And so it's something that the county will stay very, very much next to it and the developments, and because that will affect us all in the long run. And so we don't want to be caught off guard. So we do have people that are paying attention to what they're doing and what they're talking about doing and so on. So with that, Commissioner, I think I'll pass on and we'll get ready for the budget hearing. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Scarr.
Thank you. I will also be brief because we are heading into budget committee hearings. So that's the first announcement. We have our first budget hearing today in room 106 downstairs from us here in the courthouse, or you can find it live streamed on our Civic Clerk platform by going to our website. So invite everyone to join us. This is an extremely important process that we do each year to determine how local property tax dollars in the general fund will be spent and how to make sure we are shepherding all of our funds, both those in our special revenue funds and those in our general fund, in the best possible way. So we just invite people to listen in, get involved. Last week on Friday, we had a sort of an interim meeting of the Association of Oregon Counties Transportation and Community Development Committee. Typically, we meet hard and fast during the legislative session so that we're able to support and advocate for things that are really important. But because we are in the gap between the short session and what will be a very busy long session, we are actually doing some planning for the long session. And we had a meeting where we heard from the Oregon Transportation Commission Chair, Julie Brown, talking about ODOT, their current budget situation, and kind of giving some insights into what they will be looking for in a budget package next year. They're really going to be focusing on the maintenance and upkeep pieces of our roadway system. The last major legislative bill for ODOT was, I think it was called House Bill 2017, and it really focused on capital projects, which was great. There was a lot of money allocated that was new money to ODOT, but it only focused on capital projects. So what's happening now is with inflation and just your dollar doesn't go as far, their maintenance budget is not big enough. And we can all see the effects of that in Tillamook County. We see roads that were not striped. We see potholes that are not adequately fixed. We see guardrails that are crashed into and not replaced. We are seeing the impacts of the shortfall in their maintenance budget. So they will be working on that in the coming year. And what was important about this meeting was that we had the opportunity to remind the chair of the Transportation Commission that counties' road funding is tied into ODOT's road funding as well. And that not only does ODOT need more money, so do the counties. That the revenues that we share with them, sometimes there's a move to actually take money away from counties to give it to ODOT in order to balance their need. And it gave us an opportunity to speak directly to the decision makers at the Transportation Commission and say, please don't. We need that money just as badly as ODOT, because when people are driving around, they're not saying, oh, this is an ODOT road. Oh, this is a county road. Oh, this is a city road. They're looking at it and saying, this is the transportation system that gets me where I need to go. And it needs to all be fully funded. So great opportunity again to speak to decision makers in that setting. We also had the governor's representative on housing, Matt Schibold, with us, and Matt went over the governor's bill from the last session, talking about what was in it, just making sure we all knew where we should be looking for dollars to come to address our housing issues. So that was a great learning presentation. But again, we had the opportunity to talk with Matt and thank him for the work they had done and remind him that there's more work to be done, that the infrastructure pieces of housing are absolutely crucial, and that while the two bills, Senate Bill 1537 and Senate Bill 1530, had some very specific and designated infrastructure projects in it, there's more needed, and a far greater amount of money will be needed in order to get the water systems, the wastewater systems in place to be able to really address our housing crisis at the level we need to. So again, another opportunity to have the ear of one of the leaders who can speak to our governor, who can make sure that those things go into her housing bill in the next session. Working at the state level is a really important part of what we need to do to address some of the most pressing issues. And I appreciate both our senator and our representative who join us each week on this call. They are there fighting for us, and we are delighted to be working with them, as well as with our group of 35 counties here at Association of Oregon Counties. With that, I will turn it back to you, Chair Bell, and get myself ready for the budget hearings.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to be very brief also because, as my fellow commissioners said, we're heading into budget hearings for the next 3 days. Today and Thursday, it's all day long, and on Wednesday, it's all afternoon. So budget hearings are very, very interesting. I used to come to them when I was with the Headlight Herald, and it's an opportunity for all the directors to present their budgets, for the budget committee to learn about the things that they're doing, the things they want to do, and then the budget committee and the treasurer to work through what are people requesting and what funding do we have available and how to balance that. And I'm really pleased this year to be welcoming 3 new citizen budget committee members. That is MJ Bosty, Ken Henson, and Michael Weisenflue. I'm very grateful for their willingness to dive in and work with us on this important project. It's key to what commissioners do is financial oversight of the budget. So, and I'm grateful to the treasurer for her work and her office's work, which is a mountain of work on the budget process. So that's exciting. And with that, well, I just want to say one word about the Senator Merkley's town hall and to thank everybody who came. There were a lot of people there. The room was packed. It was a better turnout than I expected for a rainy Saturday morning. And, maybe 60 people or more. And thanks to TBCC for hosting us. Britta Lawrence was our host from the college, and she did a great job. And it was just very encouraging. It's inspiring to be in the presence of our legislators and hear about their expertise on such a wide number of topics. Everything somebody brought up, they knew something about it, and just that the dedication to service at that level of leadership is really remarkable and impressive. We have excellent leaders, and I'm grateful. And I'm grateful to the community for coming out and spending some time with them. So with that, I'm going to jump into the cities so we can maybe get this call concluded by 9. Let's start with the city of Manzanita.
Good morning, this is Catherine. Can you hear me okay?
Good morning, Mayor. We can.
Great. Hey, I'm going to take the subtle hint and be very brief. We very much enjoyed the participation and the presence of many of the people who were on this call this morning, and also many of our members of our community, as well as the adjacent communities, and quite a few leaders of not-for-profits and organizations in the community that make our life good here. So it was a very celebratory morning, and we all gave ourselves big pats on the back for being out there in the rain, and we're looking forward to reporting on the completion in that project in a year or so's time. And I'll save any other updates for next week. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Do we have anyone on from the city of Nehalem or Wheeler? How about Rockaway Beach?
Good morning. Can you hear me now?
Good morning, Mayor. We can.
All right, thank you. I'll also be brief and just mention that the Rockaway Beach Council workshop will be at 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday at City Hall, followed by the City Council meeting at 6 p.m. The council will consider approving a proposal from HBH Consulting Engineers for water and wastewater capital improvement plan updates and a system development charge study. We'll also be looking to adopt a 5-year streets capital improvement plan and opting into the recreational immunity provided by Senate Bill 1576. And a quick shout out to Mayor Welch for bringing the need for this step to our attention. We're going to look at authorizing an abatement. And of course, there's always much more at council workshops and meetings. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Chair.
Thank you, Mayor. And it was nice to see you at Merkley's Town Hall and at the Leadership Circle. Thanks for being there.
Oh, thank you. It's always a great opportunity to plug into, as people have said, to the federal level, which is very, very important to our communities.
I agree. Thank you. Okay, how about the city of Garibaldi? Do we have Mayor Findling? about the city of Bay City?
Good morning, Commissioner. This is Mayor Welch. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good. So tonight, Bay City has our city council meeting at 6 p.m. And on our agenda is a resolution to opt into Senate Bill 1576 for recreational immunity, similar to what the city of Rockaway Beach is doing. We also have a resolution supporting the Tillamook County Citizens Corps, which is the emergency preparedness group across the county, in support of our grant application for supplies and other items for the emergency preparedness organizations across the county. We also have a State of the City on April 20th from 2 to 4 at Bay City Hall. So if you want to learn what's going on in Bay City, come to the State of the City on April 20th. We also have a request for a street closure, A Street, on April 13th. The Bay City Arts Center is having an outdoor concert, and so that will be on Saturday the 13th from 7 to 9. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. How about the city of Tillamook?
Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning.
I will try to paraphrase. I know you're short on time here. The Police Department, our Code Enforcement Officer Moreland and Lieutenant Troxel attended the Tillamook Today Show on 95.9 KTIO. It was a great opportunity for especially our Code Enforcement Officer to introduce himself and talk more about his position. Our School Resource Officer, our Code Enforcement Officer, and Lieutenant Troxel attended the Sexual Awareness Month Paint a Pocket event at the library. I want to thank Tie the Chains for putting it together. They have a great partnership. Sergeant Hollis and our School Resource Officer attended both the Tillamook High School baseball and softball games this week, and it was a really great opportunity to interact with our staff and students. Our Executive Assistant, Lacey Larson, Lieutenant Troxel, continue to ensure our records are in tip-top shape, and they've been going through old records and purging to make sure we're in compliance with our state retention schedule. And then also in the Tillamook Police Department, the SRR officer, School Resource Officer, Officer Fitzgerald, Officer Martinez, and Trooper King from the Oregon State recovered a stolen utility vehicle this last week. I want to say great work to all involved, and our Code Enforcement Officer actually helped take the trailer to a secure place, and he helped get the trailer back to the owner. So we want to thank everyone for their involvement in that. Also in the Public Works Department, the Tillamook is thrilled to host his annual Touch a Truck event on Tuesday, May 7th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. This is a unique family-friendly event held in celebration of Public Service Recognition Week. Public Service Recognition Week has been held since, I think, the early 80s, if I'm not mistaken. It's been held for quite a while, or early 90s. It allows children to explore a variety of public service vehicles up close. We invite you to attend this event. It'll be hosted on Laurel Street, right between 1st and 3rd, which is right between City Hall and Courthouse, as we've been doing since 2021. So please refrain from parking obstructing access to your water meters this week to ensure an accurate reading, and accurate readings are crucial for making billing precision and detecting potential water leaks. So we want to make sure everyone does that. The utility payments are due on the 15th of this month. If you have any questions or need to make payments, go to our website, or you can call us, or you can stop by. Streets Division is sweeping streets, filling potholes, and maintaining the parks this week. In addition to routine operations, staff cleaned out debris from the Carnahan boat ramp, so now is now accessible to vehicles. They also replaced a vandalized pay booth at the Carnahan Park. That's been out for a while. It's now been replaced. Safety is our top priority. We take pride to work and hold the aesthetic appeal, functionality, sustainability of our city. Also, as was previously mentioned this morning, Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley attended a town hall meeting at the Tillamook, not just attending, hosted, a Tillamook Bay Community College this past weekend on Saturday. And I wanted to say that Madeline Orton, our city's project manager, represented the city at that meeting. Several months ago, the city had requested funding from the Senate for the second phase of our water transmission line replacement project. At the meeting, Madeline expressed how important this project is for the health, well-being, and future of our community. Madeline also talked about the challenges that rural communities face when it comes to securing federal funding for essential infrastructure projects. She also shared how difficult it is for coastal communities to navigate the complexities of environmental regulations while striving to maintain and upgrade local infrastructure. She also asked that the federal government do more to partner with rural coastal communities to try to comply with these elaborate regulations. And just want to say we really appreciate Madeline's representation and presentation from the City of Tillamook. We also recognize and express appreciation to Lieutenant Troxel, who attended on behalf of law enforcement and to support Madeline Orton. Just really briefly, I have a couple of positions available, and then we can stop by our website or visit our City Hall for application. If you see something, say something by calling 911, or for emergencies, dispatch for non-emergencies. And the last two things, on Saturday, April 13th, this coming Saturday at 9 a.m., City Council will hold a council planning and goal setting work session, which will be held at City Hall in the chambers. It'll be from 9 until 2 p.m., 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And the next regular council meeting will be held this coming Monday, April 15th at 7 p.m. And that's all I have, Commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan. Well, with that, we will wrap up this meeting. We'll say thank you to KTIL for broadcasting, as always. Thanks to everyone for participating, and thank you, Tillamook County, for listening. This meeting is adjourned at 8:50 a.m. Thank you, everyone.